Hey, Pretty Girl Club. So I got an email this morning from one of the Exoticals, and I love you guys because you guys are always getting the tea. So I've talked about skin bleaching on this channel. I've noticed that a lot of people they have smoke for light skinned women who bleach their skin. They have smoke for women like Beyonce or Megan Good or other mixed race women like Stacey Dash who bleach their skin. People love calling that out even if the person didn't bleach their skin, if they just become a half a shade lighter, people will say, "You bleached yourself. Oh my God, you're trying to be white. You're trying to look like Kim Kardashian." But no one keeps the same energy for the one, the only, the new yellow bone, Kelly Rowland. Got that hydro key? No! Kelly Rowland's yellow bone. That's right, she has debuted her new golden skin tone at one of the events that she was at. Anybody that comes in my comments section trying to argue is clearly a disingenuous, unambiguous woman who most likely bleaches herself. I'm not even shaming people for changing their bodies, but what I'm trying to say is if we're going to call out bleaching and we're going to have this outrage, let's keep the same energy for everyone. Why are people constantly focused on lighter people who bleach their skin, but suddenly you can go from chocolate to caramel and golden and be lighter than Sierra, so you can go from literally coffee colored. Kelly Rowland has a song called Coffee, and she's talking about like her skin tone and like repping the dark skin tones. So going from coffee colored to golden red bone caramel, no, that's not from the sun. So anybody who comes in my comment section attempting to argue will immediately be banned from the channel. I'm just going to show you some photos of what Kelly Rowland looked like before and what she looks like now. So I'm going to show you photos of Kelly Rowland next to other celebrities. And the reason I'm talking about this is because people love pretending that no one wants to be light-skinned or light-skinned women are mediocre and age badly and don't have enough melanin and, the white side is going to kick in. And it's like, why are we ignoring the multi-billion-dollar skin bleaching industry that exists mainly in countries in Africa where they have a lot of unambiguous mono dark-skinned black people? And like I said, I really don't care if you want to be the next Michael Jackson. Just put some respect on our names. Don't call light-skinned women mediocre in one breath and then try to become a light-skinned black woman in the next breath. If you want to lighten yourself or you want to be light-skinned, that's fine. Just admit that you think lighter skin tones are pretty or that you think all shades are pretty, including light skin, and move on. I would have no problem with any of this if unambiguous women would just admit that they simply pedestalize our phenotypes and that they think that our phenotypes are beautiful, just like how theirs are and just like how anybody else's are. But I've noticed that there is this disingenuous mindset where a lot of unambiguous mono dark-skinned black women do not want to end colorism. They don't want to end colorism, they just want to either reverse it or they want to make the quote-unquote light-skinned people the new ugly girls and they want to have pretty privilege. They just want to be treated on the same pedestal that they think that lighter-skinned women are on. I know that the unambiguous community supports colorism because of the Pinky Doll situation. Do you guys remember when Pinky Doll digitally lightened her skin and, she received light skin privilege supposedly, or like she blew up on TikTok and on all of these different apps and stuff? Unambiguous women were not only praising her, but they were also in denial, saying, "Oh no, it's just the blonde hair that's changing her skin tone." But why is it that when we said that about Beyonce, when we said, "Oh, it's just her blonde hair that's changing the skin tone," then suddenly people are like, "No, blonde hair doesn't do that to skin. She's lightening her skin." And also for the people saying, "Oh, it's because it's winter." It's not winter. It's actually the middle of May. So what are you talking about? Don't a lot of celebrities live in Hollywood or, they live in California and in places where there is sun? And even if this were from seasonal changes, you don't change undertones based on the season. Like, I could understand if she went from dark chocolate or coffee to maybe like a very, very deep cinnamon type of tone, but that's not what this is. And I'm comparing it to the yellow background. Look at her skin, look at her chest up against the yellow words on the background of the photo. Also, this color blonde that she's wearing is a 613 blonde. In order to pull off a 613 blonde shade, I can pull off a 613 blonde, but it's like you have to be very light in order for 613 to really like blend with your skin like that. And so anybody who says, oh no, it's just her hair color, that's disingenuous. Hair color doesn't change the color of your chest. It does not change the color of your arms. It doesn't do that. And then for those of you who say, oh, well, if people wanted to lighten up, then it would have taken more time to do that. No, that's only for those who don't have money, who have to use glutathione pills, which take a few months, or MSM, which also takes a few months, or hydroquinone creams, which can take a few months. These celebrities are rich, and so they do have procedures they can do, whether it's like laser lighting or like depigmentation procedures that they do mainly in other countries. I don't think that it's really a thing in the United States, but these are very common things that you can get if you go to places like India or Turkey or, other places like that. And so Kelly could easily do this. This is the same thing they were accusing Meg Thee Stallion of doing, like doing a skin lightening procedure. And like I said, I actually don't care if people look how they want to look, as long as you put some respect on my name. Put some respect on our name, and I won't have a problem. So don't say in one breath, nobody wants to look like you guys aren't even cute, she's not cute, she's just light skinned. So don't say that in one breath and then try to morph yourself into that in another breath. And this is why I laugh when a lot of the pro-black YouTube channels try to say that they are pro-black women. No, they're not pro-black women, they're really just anti-mixed women or anti-light skinned women. And what's happening is this is actually a form of envy. I made a video not too long ago where I said I actually believe that Kelly Rowland is potentially jealous or envious of Beyonce. And then people came on my video and then they tried to argue, but that's okay because I just banned them. I don't see how you can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in. You can't even get into my comment section. But no, so I was talking about how Kelly Rowland herself has said that she wants to be Mariah's shade, or that at one point she wanted to be Mariah Carey's skin tone. If you don't believe me, please look it up on YouTube and go check out the interview. Kelly Rowland has also spoken about how she has felt like she is second best to Beyonce. Once again, that was something that Kelly randomly brought up. Nobody in the interview said, oh, do you want to be Mariah's skin tone, or how do you feel compared to Beyonce, and are you second best? No one brought that up. Kelly brought that up on her own accord. And so I absolutely believe that she has done what a lot of people accuse the lighter skinned celebrities of doing, which is bleaching/lightening her skin. And by the way, I am not saying that light skinned women cannot be bleachers. I absolutely do believe that people in Hollywood are doing things to lighten their skin. But what I don't like, though, is the hypocrisy that I see in the Black empowerment community, where they want to call out anybody who was already light or anybody who was not even dark skinned to begin with. And then they say, oh, she got a couple shades lighter, or she looks paler than normal. But then when Kelly Rowland goes from coffee colored to lighter than Sierra to damn near paper bag colored, and if you don't believe me, I will do the paper bag thing on this video. So I'll put it up right here, and I'll put up the caramel thing for the people who want to try to leave thousands of comments arguing back and forth about what skin tone fits what. Okay, so here's Kelly's picture next to colors pastel yellow. Those words behind Kelly's skin, those words on the screen, those are like a pastel yellow color. For the people who want to argue about definitions, let's look up the definition of pastel yellow. It is a pale shade of yellow that is lighter and less saturated than pure yellow because it contains white. And let's go ahead and compare some of Kelly Rowland's pictures to other people who are kind of within that caramely, bronzy, cinnamon skin tone range. And then I'm going to compare Kelly Rowland's current pictures to her previous pictures. For those of you who are saying that this is a Photoshop picture, this picture is actually from Getty Images. So when it comes to Instagram pictures, yeah, I can see how that could be very easily Photoshopped or filtered or whatever. But these pictures are coming from Getty Images. So why is no one talking about this? People make it a huge deal over Stacey Dash and Megan Good and women who are pedestalized in the community. So just admit that you do not pedestalize Kelly Rowland's phenotype. That's why nobody's talking about it. I just made a video about this the other day about how nobody polices who's dark-skinned and who's not. But people love policing who's light-skinned and who's not. So my question for those of you who want to police Kelly's skin tone, is she still dark-skinned in this pic? Is she coffee-colored? Let's actually compare her to the colors of coffee and colors of chocolate. For those of you who think I'm lying and, these are fake photos, yeah, let's go ahead and compare her and let's see the difference. So this right here is proof that a lot of unambiguous women, they don't want to end colorism. This is not about ending colorism, texturism, and featureism. They just want to be able to benefit from it in a lot of cases. They associate pretty privilege with colorism, texturism, and featureism. I don't associate it with those things, but in the unambiguous community, they do. And if you don't believe me, go watch my comment foolery exposed videos. Speaking of comment foolery, there's lots of foolery on here. And I just think that people are mad because, Kelly she wants to join the other side. She no longer wants to represent unambiguous dark-skinned mono black women. She doesn't want to represent that. For those of you who are saying, oh, well, when she was in the Mea Culpa movie, she looked different. Well, yeah, that's because the Mea Culpa movie was probably filmed a few months ago, don't you think? I mean, if you want to get a procedure done, it's really not that hard. Yeah, if you're on glutathione or something like that, then it may take longer. Or if you're using kind of these cheaper lotions and stuff, it may take longer. But there are plenty of procedures that multimillionaires have access to that regular people don't have access to. That's why they cost more money. There's also a thing that people do called IV drips. It's where you get the glutathione injected into your arm. But then again, that also takes some time as well. So I'm not sure how long it's been since Kelly Rowland has been out and about. But let's look at some of this comment foolery. Kelly Rowland said, "Yellow, bonus, what do you want?" Y'all so damn annoying. It's just the hair. It washes her out, makes her look a little more pale. But where was that energy when Beyonce went platinum blonde? People were saying, oh, Beyonce is aging badly, and Kelly Rowland is aging better than Beyonce. Okay, well, is she aging better now? Because she's damn near the same shade. And then for the people who say, oh, well, they were tanning back in the Destiny's Child days. Destiny's Child ended over a decade ago. So even if they were tanning, I'm pretty sure that a tan can fade after 10 years. And also, Kelly Rowland, anybody who follows her knows that she has a naturally kind of more chocolatey type of skin tone. Whether it's milk chocolate, dark chocolate, coffee, mocha, she has a naturally chocolate skin tone. People who have golden skin tones, or they're like on the lighter side of the skin tone spectrum, they don't have a chocolatey, like a super rich chocolatey color. Hence the terms colorism. I mean, you wouldn't even need to have terms like colorism if we were all the exact same color. Let's not pretend like golden and chocolate are the exact same color. They're not. That's being disingenuous. But anyway, let's look at some of these comments. Somebody said, "Y'all so damn annoying. It's just the hair. It washes her out, makes her look a little more pale." Someone else said, "It doesn't. It's sad. Americans will bleach and then be scared to say they bleached." That's exactly what it is. It's like, how are you going to bash light-skinned women when deep down inside, a lot of women in the unambiguous community want to look that way? And like I said, there's nothing wrong with finding a different phenotype beautiful. So if you were to simply admit, hey, I think that so-and-so is beautiful, or I think Mariah Carey is beautiful. Like with Kelly Rowland, this is not actually against Kelly Rowland herself. I actually do not care what Kelly Rowland does, but I am going to utilize this story to prove my point. Because people were swearing up and down on my Kelly Rowland video, nobody wants to be like Beyonce. She doesn't want to be like Beyonce. She doesn't want to look like Beyonce. She doesn't want to have the same career as Beyonce. She's not worried about Beyonce. She's not jealous of Beyonce. Well, then why does she have the same hair color and damn near the same skin tone suddenly? And also, when it comes to women who do stuff like this, I mean, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think unambiguous women are going to do if you constantly tell them from the time they're children, your skin tone's going to hold you back, dating while dark skin sucks, and nobody likes you because of your skin tone, you didn't succeed because of your skin tone, the industry is colorist. Okay, so yeah, of course somebody like Kelly Rowland is going to try to become more like my skin tone. And so it's like, you don't understand. A lot of these pro-black content creators, they don't understand that by pointing out all of the negative aspects of being dark-skinned, all they're doing is actually pedestalizing lighter skin tones without realizing it, because they're saying things like, you have it easier as a person who's light-skinned. Okay, well, who doesn't want to have it easier in life? So you're really influencing younger girls to want to be lighter. So it seems to be like this is what's happening in Kelly Rowland's case. By the way, the Mea Culpa movie, it did not get good reviews, if I'm not mistaken. So people trying to pretend like, oh, Kelly's so poppin' and so popular because she was in a Tyler Perry movie, you're being disingenuous. You know damn well Tyler Perry makes low-quality ass movies. Now suddenly you want to act like Tyler Perry is Steven Spielberg and he just saved Kelly Rowland's career. No, Kelly Rowland had a better career when she was doing music versus being in a Tyler Perry movie. And also, I've noticed that a lot of people, they won't admit when they want to look like someone who's mixed race, or they want to look like someone who's light skinned, because then of course, they'd have to admit that you're pretty. And I've noticed a lot of unambiguous women who have inferiority complexes or they're jealous, they don't want to admit when you're pretty, but then they want to secretly go behind the scenes and try to look like you. And also for the people who talk about bleaching in America, I do believe that bleaching is a thing in the United States as well. I know that a lot of the bleaching stuff in United States is not on the same level as stuff in other countries because we have like the FDA and you can only get creams that are about 2 to 4% hydroquinone in them. So I know that that's true, but they wouldn't be selling lightening creams in the beauty supply stores. Like they wouldn't be selling this stuff in the black beauty supply stores if no one was buying them. And so people are buying them, obviously, because they keep having these types of things in the black beauty supplies. So even though it may be a lesser concentrated version of lightening, it's still, like a form of lightening. So to imply that no unambiguous woman is wanting to be light skinned or wants to lighten her skin, that's disingenuous. And so I'm going to keep calling out the hypocrisy. So if you're such a social justice warrior and you want to end skin bleaching, why don't we end it for unambiguous women? Has anyone noticed that? They want light-skinned women to not lighten their skin, but then dark-skinned women can lighten theirs. Have you ever noticed that? So Serena Williams or this woman, Kelly Rowland, or like anybody else, they can lighten their skin. They can do whatever they want with their skin, with their hair. If you say, hey, you're wearing a curly hair texture that looks like my natural type 3 hair, then they'll be like, I can do whatever I want with my hair. Like, this is just a beauty enhancement. But then when a light-skinned woman does the exact same thing, then suddenly it's bad. Like if a light-skinned woman bleaches her skin, wears a wig or a weave or gets a nose job or whatever, they feel the need to call it out. Well, she got a nose job. Kelly Rowland got a nose job as well. Did you know that? Why didn't anybody call out Kelly Rowland? It's because a lot of unambiguous mono dark-skinned black women do not care about Kelly Rowland like that. They're not policing her as heavily because they do not pedestalize her as much as somebody like Beyonce or somebody who has a different phenotype than their own. But let's get into some more of the comment foolery. This girl said, respectively, people tan so people can bleach. She's wearing lighter makeup. It goes with her hair. Whatever makes her happy, her business, just like wearing weave. Okay, so when an unambiguous woman changes her whole body or gets surgeries or whatever, it's just her business, right? So where was that energy for Megan Good, for Beyonce, for Stacey Dash? Like, if it's just your business and you can do whatever you want, then let it just be everyone's business then, including light-skinned women. And a lot of people get mad at me because I don't tell people you shouldn't bleach or you shouldn't do your hair like this. A lot of people get mad and then they try to say, oh, Exoticals United is encouraging people to bleach. And it's like, I'm telling you guys that people are going to do it regardless. People are going to look how they want to look regardless. So as long as you give me my Exotical tax, as long as you put some respect on our names and put some respect on women with this complexion, then I don't care what you do. But as long as women are being disingenuous and pretending like, oh, we're so mediocre and nobody wants to look like that and Kelly looks better than Beyonce. Okay, if she looks so much better, then why is she looking more like Beyonce now than ever before? Which one is it? But somebody said, respectfully, Black Americans born here don't bleach our skin as a culture compared to other Black groups. So, I don't have an argument for that. That could be true. This person says, clearly all do. Only difference is you lie about it, respectfully. Yeah. I think that here, people, they don't want to admit when they find another type beautiful or when they find another phenotype to be prettier than their own. I've noticed that is something that causes cognitive dissonance in the unambiguous community. If you don't meet your own internalized beauty standard, but Beyonce does, and then you don't know how to cope with that, then I've noticed that some women will just lash out at you or be resentful towards you or say, oh, your skin tone's not even cute, or you're not that cute, or Ice Spice is ugly. They'll name features about you that are ugly while secretly trying to look more like you. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.